Good evening. This is Professor Rush once again with OO. Now, as you recall, OO had to dash off quickly because something came up. I'm not sure what happened, but at any rate, here is OO.
Hello? Hello? Is there anyone listening there in the dark? Professor Rush? Ha ha ha.
Yes, I'm here, OO.
Good. Sorry I had to cut our chat short last time. Something came up, and don't be surprised if it happens again. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Antiquities and theft and all that. Very resourceful, these thieves, hiding stolen artifacts amongst the artifacts of other civilizations, or even on planets or moons that have never had life forms at all, let alone advanced forms that could construct the artifact in question. At first, when we encountered this, we were mystified. How could that artifact be here in this place? When you see the size of these things, in some cases, or even unusual constructions built around an artifact to distract from the real treasure. And of course, some of these items can be used for barter, something pretty perhaps, or unusual materials. People, well, anyway, as I mentioned, I'm on my way to study that civilization we had spoken of, and it will take many months to reach our destination. You see, John, I could have already been there, but this is what you would call a resupply and pickup mission, and we have to stop at some very interesting places, and it was my hope we could chat once in a while, and perhaps I can even introduce you to some of your neighbors in your galaxy while we're on our way to the civilization we talked about. And certainly, when I know for sure where this is, I'll let you know. It will be several months, and then you will know.
Thank you, OO. Yes, I'd like that. I certainly won't give you my SSI.
Your what?
A Social Security number. This is a number issued by the U.S. government to keep track of people, actually to keep track of money for tax purposes. Without an SSI, you technically don't exist. We have lots of people working in this country who technically don't exist, and we call them aliens.
That's really funny, John. Are you telling me that aliens are already on your planet in your workforce? So I guess I could get a job on your planet, perhaps as an action.
Actually, aliens can always find jobs because they will work for less.
job in your country, when you apply for work, you simply tell them you are an alien and they will give you a job, but they will pay you less because technically you don't exist? That seems like a strange way to hire people, and I'm also shocked to hear that aliens are already on your planet in that capacity. The data does not support that.
I think we have some miscommunication here. We're talking two types of aliens. Ones who come into this country uninvited, from Mexico, Yemen, Iran, or Chicago, and then there are the space aliens. You're in the second category.
Okay, now I get it. An alien is someone you haven't invited into the group. So, I'm an alien twice removed and would have to somehow become a first category alien before I could come into your country and get a job. I guess I would have to come in through another country. Is that correct?
No, no, no. I think you have this a bit wrong. You would be considered another category of alien altogether.
Is that good, John? Does that mean I could get a job right away?
Well, I don't know about that.
I suppose because I don't have one of those numbers, the sissy number.
Yes, SSI.
Yes, sissy, SSI. That's what I said. If I don't have one of these numbers, how will anyone know if I'm a first class alien or a second class alien? Is that correct?
Okay, but how can I say this? You would be very different from others. I mean, you're a space alien, and I would expect you to look differently, so people would know you aren't a first class alien. I think your looks would give you away, but it could work in your favor, perhaps in advertising, maybe. Like burgers that are just out of this world, and there you are eating a burger.
Burger? Burger? What in the Falkland Islands is a burger?
Okay, you came pretty close there, oh. Anyway, people in my world are always in a hurry, and eating has been reduced to a necessary inconvenience for most people. So they buy and eat food that is cooked quickly, and many of these places serve burgers.
Oh, yes. As I went through the data bank, I did encounter words like mech.
Yes, I'm sure you did, but I'd rather not advertise for these establishments.
I saw these advertisements for food on the side of wheeled vehicles moving from place to place. Very interesting, but I'm having difficulty grasping this. So you call one of these establishments and they show up at a specific destination with a truckload of food?
Wayne, Humans have to eat, but modern society demands that we limit the time for eating. Having mealtime or sitting down to a meal does not have the same meaning it had 50 or 60 years ago. So, in order to supply the demand for a quick fix rather than a traditional family get together, we have these places beside the roads where they sell meat in a round patty shape on a bun. And the meat patty, which is usually some type of animal flesh, chicken, cow, and in some cases it's unidentifiable, is cooked on a griddle, and the meat has to be flipped over so that both sides get cooked, unless, of course, you're going to microwave it.
Really? That is absolutely disgusting. Now, I suppose you folks have aspirations of space travel. At least your science fiction has pointed you in that direction. Wonderful stories you have with the action heroes and such. And so, how will you eat? Or how will you get your energy source in deep space? Will you bring meat patties into outer space? How about cows and chickens? Two of all living things. Does that sound familiar, John?
Yes, it does. This is Matsya, or Vishnu in the Hindu tradition, who, in the form of a fish, put all the seeds of every living thing on a boat and saved them from destruction.
Yes, I read the stories as well. But aside from that, John, do you have a pet? You know, some life form, a lower life form you can boss around because you call it a pet, and you feed it, and you teach it simple things like sit and fetch, things like that. Lots of civilizations have such things, these pets.
Well, I manage a feral cat community, and some, I guess, become pets. They sort of adopt you.
Yes, cats. Meow.
Yes, that's the sound they make.
No, this is what we call a cat.
But that's the Egyptian word for cat.
Yes, well then, you might know something about training this pet who has become fond of me. I call her Fluffy. She likes to sniff my area of elimination, and her nose is very, very cold. I usually jump. Very embarrassing. Do I just let him continue? Are we losing the signal? Okay, okay. I'll call him back.
Meow.